Hi, my name is Lindsay Williams. I'm the nutrition consultant here at Marshall Recreation Center, and I'm excited to be here and get the opportunity to do some nutrition videos on weight management. We're going to discuss some steps that you can take for easy and effective methods for your weight management. One topic I'm going to talk about today is New Year's resolutions. This time of year, people tend to think about changing their health. And oftentimes it ends up being starting crazy fat diets or endless hours on the treadmill, and that's just miserable. No one wants to do that. So I want you to stop the torture and get back to the basics of nutrition and good health. So the first step that I want you to do is to assess your current diet. It's very simple. You just take a 3-day food log of all meals, both breakfast, lunch, dinner meals, and snacks, and even the grazing that you do throughout the day, because those count too. And that way you can see just how much you're eating, the quality of what you're eating, and you can just kind of see where some major changes can be made. The next step I want you to take is to make better choices. Don't just overhaul your diet in one night, because it's not going to happen. It takes some time, but if you're eating ice cream as one of your favorite snacks before you go to bed, it might be a good time to make a swap like yogurt and berries. Another step you could take is to eat the right amount for you. Everyone has different caloric needs. It depends mostly on your age, your gender, your height, all these varying factors. One way you can figure out how much you need is to go to ChooseMyPlate.gov and look at the Supertracker, enter all your information, and they'll tailor it just for you. Or just look up specific calorie information and figure it out that way. So step 4 is a very important step. I want you to decrease your portion sizes. Portion sizes have been on the rise in the last 20 years. Take a look at this bagel. Compare it to the bagel of today. The bagel of 20 years ago was half the calories of the bagel today. That's just one demonstration of how our portion sizes have increased. One good method of portion control is to observe serving sizes on the food labels. You might be surprised to learn that tortilla chips are only 11 chips per serving. One thing you might find hard about serving size is they are often vague. So, for instance, a serving size of pasta is usually in ounces, and that's kind of hard to judge. So oftentimes we recommend things like our hands or deck of cards to judge food. So in the case of pasta, we'll say like half of a baseball. Now you can find these examples at ChooseMyPlate.gov if you're not sure about a certain food. The 5th step is to eat fewer empty calories. Now this is a huge problem in the American diet. Empty calories include things like soda, ice cream, pizza, hot dogs. These are all foods that provide little to no nutrition. But it doesn't mean that you can never have these foods again. One of my favorite mottos in nutrition is everything in moderation. But remember, these foods shouldn't make the bulk of your diet. The 6th step is to focus on the foods you need. Oftentimes people get caught up in the calorie counting game. And instead of getting caught up in the numbers, why not think about food groups? For example, think about getting your 5 to 6 fruits and veggies a day, or your 5 to 6 ounces of grains, or your 5 ounces of protein. It may be easier if you go to ChooseMyPlate.gov and click on Supertracker and tailor your specific needs for those food groups. The next important step is to make better choices while you're eating out. So when you go to places like restaurants, gas stations, and even cafes, you know what to choose. For example, when you go to a restaurant and you open the menu, look for things that say broiled or steamed or baked. Most of the time, those items don't have a lot of added syrups or butter or oils to them that make them more calorie laden. Another example you could do is when you go to the cafe, say when you go to Starbucks and you want to choose a sweetbread, choose nuts instead. Oftentimes they have a little trail mix at the counter. That would be a nice, healthier alternative to the sweetbread. You could also use things like low-fat milk in your latte, or even soy milk. Let's face it, restaurants' main goal is to make your food taste good. And to do that, they often add butter and oil, and that just leads to more calories and fat. And sometimes the typical restaurant salad can add up to 1,000 calories, even though you think you're choosing a healthy option. When you can make a salad at home with half the calories, why not do it? Not only is it going to save you on your calorie budget, but it's going to save you some money too. One thing we really stress here at the Marshall Recreation Center is physical activity. The recommendations are to get 150 minutes per week of moderate physical activity. So that includes things like walking and leisurely bike riding. Another recommendation is to get 75 minutes of vigorous activity, such as jogging or swimming or even indoor cycling. You could take that with Steph here. She does a pretty good job. And it's also important to get 2 non-consecutive days of strength training just to make sure those muscles are ready for what's coming at them for those 150 minutes. Other ways you could sneak in physical activity include things like biking to do your errands, walking to work, parking farther away from the grocery store. Those little bits really add up throughout the day. And the last and most important step out of all of this, and if you don't follow this, it's going to negate all of your work, is to decrease your screen time. People who spend a lot of their time in front of the screen are typically overweight. And screen time includes things like TV, video games, and the computer. One way you can monitor your screen time is to decrease it about 2 hours a day outside of school and work. It's also important to keep busy throughout the day. So do little tasks like cleaning around the house or doing little hobbies, anything that'll get you up and away from that screen. So that's all for our weight management series. My name is Lindsay Williams. I'm the nutrition consultant of the Marshall Recreation Center. And if you like what you see, subscribe here to our webpage. Or maybe I should do subscribe here. No. And check out our website here.